Welcome to the RT Development Podcast. I'm Matt Rognall, and I'm really excited for today's guest, Brock Ketelsen. Brock Ketelsen's been training with us since he was 11 years old and has grown into one of the top two-ways in the country. He just wrapped up his high school career as WCal Pitcher of the Year, was ranked as a top 150 MLB prospect, and won MVP of his summer ball league. Now he's headed to Stanford, and we're excited to dive into his journey, the work that got him here, and what's next for him. Welcome to the show, Brock.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm really excited to dive in. I've got to know you pretty well over the last 7 years and seen your path that's gotten you to where you are and the things that you've done to make you who you are. So just to dive in a little bit, you've been training here, like I said, since you were 11. What do you remember about the early days?
Just the original gym. I was getting rides from buddies, older buddies, and just going there and learning how to, train and learning the movements and what it means to really work hard and make myself a better player.
Yeah, I think sometimes people think 11 and 12 years old might be a little bit too early to start training, but I think you and some other guys really took advantage of learning some basic fundamentals early, so that helps you or give you a head start as you started to get older, started to physically mature, and give you guys the ability to take some bigger steps forward because you guys started so early. Looking back, what were some of the biggest changes, or what has been some of the biggest changes in your game from when you first started training to now?
I would say mobility, movement, and strength are probably the three biggest things. Just the ability to learn how to use my body on the mound, at the plate, in the outfield, everything. Just learning to, just grow into my body and obviously have the strength to create big force outputs and just learning how to move better and create that force to have good outputs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like we just talked about before, is you set that foundation early, so it made it easier for you to start to put those other attributes to use as you got older, started to get more physically strong, things like that. And kind of taking a step back, or I think one of the big reasons I think it's good to have you on is I think you're a great example of something for parents and younger athletes to learn. Is specializing in baseball or in all sports is starting to, guys are specializing earlier and earlier, and all the research says otherwise, that you shouldn't start specializing too early. And sure, there's a time where you need to focus on one thing. But with that, we were having a conversation, just you and I, and you said someone asked you, like, how are you able to do some of these things? Why are you so athletic? For a lack of a better word, and you said you thought that it was from playing so many sports early on, and so with that, how do you think those other sports helped you out?
I've always been a strong believer in playing other sports. My family obviously brought me up in a very athletic household. We would go mountain bike, we would go ski, and they put me in as many sports as I could: football, soccer, basketball, baseball. And kind of just let me decide what I wanted to do. And I think that has really been beneficial to my entire career, just learning how to use my body and adapt to different movements and different sports, and having that opportunity to try everything and just become more in tune with my body and all the movements that you need. So when you do end up choosing your sport that you want to specialize in, you kind of know your body and you're able to adapt to those different things. If you're on the pitcher's mound and being able to field a PFP and just being a athlete helps you so much in whatever sport you choose. But playing sports as a little kid and playing as many sports as you can growing up really helps you in the future.
Sure. I think a big thing with that is, baseball is probably the most repetitive sport there is. So if you're only playing baseball or only doing baseball activities, you're going to be pigeonholing yourself to only one consistent movement, versus when you're playing all those other sports, you're able to let your body do different things that are going to overall, which for all baseball players at the end of the day, they need to be an athlete first. And so being able to play those other sports allows you to work on that athleticism.
Yeah, exactly.
I think for you and a lot of these guys who were on or the Mavericks early on, obviously the Mavericks was built on development, and I think you guys were really lucky because Ryan Wing, Caleb Wing's dad, did it the right way. He focused on developing you guys as players, teaching you guys the fundamentals, and as we know in travel ball today, that's not always the case. But building that foundation early, I think, really sets you guys up for a lot of you guys who are moving on to play at the next level, or some are already there, whether it be college or professional baseball. With that, how do you think those early days helped you fundamentally and build a foundation to now where you're playing at higher levels?
Yeah, those younger days were definitely the most, I think, crucial of my career, honestly, because, as I have the opportunity to go to these big events and see these players who, you see all over the country, and they just big prospects, they all seem to, they do all the tangibles well, and they test well, and they hit the ball hard and far, but you kind of see that once they get into the game, you see a lack of kind of, I would say, like game sense, in that sixth tool is what they call it. And I think that Ryan really ingrained that in us to really know the game before we could grow into our bodies and create those habits to where we can, once we grow into our size and have the strength to then be good at testing, that it's not just metrics, it's metrics that can take you far into the game and you can use them.
Sure. And I think, only because I was able to spend some time at some practices early on, like just the focus on like pure fundamentals, like fundamentals of fielding ground ball, fundamental footwork, things like that. For anyone, like everyone's going to physically mature at different times. Some guys are going to hit their growth spurt early, some guys not till their senior in high school. But if you have those fundamentals and then you start to hit that growth spurt or you physically mature, you're going to be in a much better spot to just kind of build on what you're already doing rather than trying to have to like learn the fundamentals on top of physically maturing, and that kind of sets you back.
Yeah, for sure. I think that learning those fundamentals early really helped my career, and just as I got bigger and stronger, that those were already natural habits and that I've already grown into. And so I didn't have to take extra time to learn how to do that stuff because Ryan taught us so early.
Sure. No, for me personally, and with my kid and our RT teams, like that, those things that Ryan really tried to instill in you guys are things that I'm trying to instill with our guys and with our 11 and 12-year-olds. And so, definitely trying to keep something like that going because I think it was so crucial to your guys, and that's why so many of you guys are moving on to play at the next level.
For sure.
Moving on to like high school, to go back, you didn't play primarily or only baseball until your sophomore year, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Sophomore year.
And then pitching really didn't become a big thing until you're kind of the end of your junior year because you didn't pitch much your junior year, right?
Yeah.
Senior year, you won WCal Pitcher of the Year. What do you think changed or started to click for you?
Pitching. I pitched when I was younger, but then kind of took some time off, and then coming back to it junior year, it was definitely, I only threw 11 innings that junior season, and it was a struggle to find the zone, honestly. I think that I was too much, and this is kind of deviating from what I usually say, like, I would say that I was too much of a pitcher, and I needed to be more of an athlete on the mound, and I think that being a two-way really helps with that, and so I needed to stop thinking of them as two different entities and just kind of morph them as one because it's very similar movements, and I think the summer after my junior year really helped with understanding that when I go out there, it's just being an athlete on the mound and showcasing the tools I have and just being able to go out there and compete and focus on nothing, like no mechanics, anything like that, just competing and doing my best to basically come out with a win for the team. And so I think that taking that approach from just going straight from the outfield straight onto the mound has been really beneficial to me and helped me with my mindset and my confidence on the mound.
Yeah, I think any pitcher could take some notes from that. But big thing, I mean, be an athlete first. And at the end of the day, you need to be athletic. There's definitely that when pitchers get called non-athletes all the time. But I think as we're seeing more now, I think it's part of why guys are throwing harder. They are better now is because there's not many non-athletic pitchers out there anymore that are playing at the top level. And so if there's one thing I would say is be an athlete first. With all of our guys, I mean, we try to work on athleticism. Shoot, we have all of our pitchers, not all, but a lot of our pitchers are doing infield throws, throwing on the run, things like that. So that they maintain that athleticism. Kind of to now this summer, you played in the West Coast League for the Corvallis Knights, and you won the MVP of the league. What were some of the things that helped you with your success?
Honestly, I think that I knew coming into that, just before coming into the West Coast League and that whole summer ball, I knew that it was going to be a struggle. I mean, I never played that much baseball. You're playing 6 days a week. You get one off day. And I just knew that, you're going to have your ups and downs, and I've faced them throughout my whole career. But I knew that my ability to overcome those, because when you play every single day, it's easy to get in bigger slumps because you're just stacking days, either good or bad. And so what really helped me was just refreshing every single day. And every day is a new day to get better and a new day to showcase what I have. And so just taking that approach that every day is completely separate from the day before really helped me succeed and just have the confidence coming into my freshman year and being able to know that I can hang with that competition.
Sure. I mean, obviously you did hang with them, and I think part of it's just when you're around those type of players, you're either going to rise to it or you're going to let that kind of bring you down, and I think your ability to rise to it obviously is shown. You were ranked as a top 150 MLB prospect, which is no small thing, right? And my thing is, with that comes a lot of pressure if you want it to be pressure. I mean, that's how you determine how you mentally use it. But how did it feel, or was there any pressure, or did you use it as motivation, having scouts there all the time, you always having to be on calls with them, things like that?
I never saw it as added pressure. I mean, I like to think that it helped me play better. I think that just having those eyes on me, I know that I earned that, and I earned the ability for them to come out. And so I don't want to play for them. I want to play my game and showcase what I have. And if they like it, then great. But I don't want to stray away from anything that isn't my baseball, and I want to showcase who I am, not who they want me to be.
Absolutely. I mean, if you play free like that or have that mindset, it's the only way you're going to be able to be at the best. Brother, if you have them in the back of your head every second, then you're not going to be able to play free. And I think one thing, especially for you, is like your ability, your athleticism, your ability to play free. That's when you're your best. And so if that's kind of holding you back, then you're not going to be able to really display who you really are. Yeah. So you went to the draft combine, did the PG All-American. And one of the biggest things that's been cool to see from my end is just whenever the competition has been better, whether it be scout ball, like I said, PG All-American summer ball this year, you've always rose to the occasion, played your best baseball that I've seen you play. What do you think where that comes from?
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves to be an underdog. Everyone loves to play with like a chip on their shoulder. So, I mean, I think that being able to know that I can fail and that failure is a part of the game, and just knowing that gives me more confidence to succeed. And I think that coming in there thinking that you have something to prove every day, and you're there to not prove people wrong, but prove yourself right, that you can hang with those guys and you belong there. And I think that having that confidence in myself really helps me. And just being able to think that, hey, like, I belong here. I'm going to go out there and compete and showcase what I can do. And that mindset has ultimately really helped me in those big situations and helped me rise up to the occasion.
That's great. Now, obviously, with anyone, not everything is always going to be perfect. Like, we always are going to have ups and downs. And you talked a little bit about with summer ball playing 60 days a week, there's gonna be some struggles. What are some things that help you stick to your process and kind of take that next step or getting past those struggles?
I think that early on in my career, whenever I would face some struggles or hardships, I immediately went back to the drawing board and tried to change things. And what really helped me this summer was, with the help of coaches and teammates, was knowing that my swing and my pitching ability and everything has gotten me to this point, and it's good enough to hang with them. It's not a physical change that I need to change. It's a mental cue, or it's one little cue, one little mental habit or something that will help me succeed that day. And I think that not changing anything physically, because you know that what you do has gotten you to where you are, but it's really all mental. And the whole game is, baseball is 90% mental, and I think that having the ability to overcome your mental struggles really helps you succeed.
Definitely. Do you think I know this year you started working with Ray Santiago, and Ray is someone we just recently interviewed for the podcast, and his podcast will be out soon. But Ray works with a lot of our athletes, and I've definitely seen a mindset shift with the guys that do work with him. How do you think he's helped your development and your mental game?
Ray has been amazing. He has been really pivotal to my entire career, and I feel like I've been working with him my high school season all the way up to now, and I think that has been some of the best baseball I've played, and he's a big factor of that. Just really helped me overcome my mental battles. I always struggled with my mental part of the game, and he has really been helpful in just overcoming challenges and knowing that I have to be confident myself, and that failure is a part of the game, and it's going to happen, and there's nothing that you can change. It's how you respond to it is really the only thing that matters. And he has been really beneficial to me throughout the time I've been working with him, and it's been amazing. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I know he's done great things, obviously, with you, like you said, and just a lot of the guys that have been in here or that work with him. And so it's really cool to see, not just you, but everyone's kind of their process of how they deal with struggles, when they're not going through, or when they're not performing at their best. The guys, how much their process or how to handle it has improved. And so I think that's a huge piece, right? Like you said earlier, you can either let it weigh you down for a long time, or finding a way to, have some sort of process to take that next step and move on.
Yeah.
I get asked all the time about the RT culture and why it's so strong and how we've developed what we developed. And I would say, from my case, I think it's about building like a brotherhood, a family. But at the end of the day, I think it comes down to you guys, the players, the athletes. It wouldn't be what it is without you guys. What do you think makes that culture so strong and so special?
Exactly like you said. It is a brotherhood. It's a family. And I think that everybody at Rossi's enjoys coming in every day, and not just to get their work in and get better, but because of all the people here. And I think that guys are rooting for each other. You see guys hit PRs every day, and everyone's coming around giving them high fives, and it's just a true family that everyone is rooting for one another, and that's what it's all about. It's all about getting people better and having your brothers alongside. So yeah, the Rossi training culture has been amazing.
And just one other question on that, because one of my favorite things is not so much, the culture inside is awesome. It's pretty cool to watch, but also you guys all now get together on the outside, not as much. And we got guys and people listening might not be local, but from Monterey, San Jose, Palo Alto, Scotts Valley, Santa Cruz, all over, and you guys still find a way to get together outside of here. Where does that stem from? How do you guys make that happen? What brings you guys together?
It all stems from in here. Just growing those relationships, and when you're spending 4 or 5 days a week with the same guys, then you get pretty close with them. And everyone here is amazing, all super nice guys, super just great people to be around. And I think that just taking it from inside the gym to outside and go hang out with them, go golf, go to dinner, it is truly a family inside and out the gym. So yeah.
Great. Yeah, it's been fun to watch, and it's definitely cool to see how you guys have built it. But a lot of kids say they want to play D1 baseball, but at the end of the day, or not, and it's not even D1 baseball. I want to play college baseball, any higher level baseball outside of high school. And obviously, I don't want to make it sound like school is not important. School is important, right? But how did you find a way to balance it so you could still make sure you didn't miss training and say you didn't have time for it, and then also work on your skill work plus get all your homework or whatever educational stuff you had to get done?
For me, I mean, I think that everything is about routines. You have to establish a routine that works for you. Everybody's different, obviously. Everyone knows their strengths. Sometimes some people need more time on homework. Some people need more time to train. But it's all personalized to you, and you got to know what works best for you. And I think that I found a good balance, just balancing school and working out and getting better at baseball. So I think that there's always going to be time in the day, and whether you maximize that time is up to you. And so it's doable, but it definitely is a grind.
Yeah, I think. And when we sit down with everyone, we talk about their goals, and or through our assessment process, we talk about goals and what they want to get out of this. And one of the main goals is always like play at the next level, and something that we try to talk to them about and instill in them and from early on is like, if you want to play at that level, you need to do things now that are going to prepare you for that next level. And part of that is working or training, doing your skill work. You're not going to be able to miss those in college. So get used to it now. Learn how to prioritize that time, because it's only going to get harder at the next level.
For sure.
Things are you're going to have less time, or schedule's going to be busier. I mean, playing, well, whether it's baseball or any sport at the next level, it's a full-time job. And so you have to find a way to make time for it and learn to do that now when it's a little bit easier. You still have mom and dad helping you out, things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
You committed early, or was sophomore year, right?
Yeah, sophomore coming into junior year.
Yeah, to Stanford. And you didn't really go through the whole recruiting process. So with that, kind of, what was your recruiting process like, and what made you know that Stanford was the right fit early on?
My recruiting process was pretty easy compared to some other people. I think that, I had goals, and I think that come August 1st is obviously when schools can call you. And that day, I got a few calls, but, Stanford offered that first day, and I really knew that just the academic side and the baseball side of it all, it was really the full package for me and my family. And I think that there was no other choice that seemed better than that. And so I didn't really have to have too hard of a choice.
Sure, you get the best of both worlds with baseball side and the educational side. We got a few more questions, some rapid fire questions. First, what advice would you give to a 12 or 13-year-old kid, or let's say pre-high school kid?
Just do what you love. Honestly, it doesn't matter. You don't always have to play baseball. I know that this is a baseball-specific gym, but you can also play football, basketball, anything, and come here. And I think that whatever your passion is what you need to follow, and listen to your heart and do what you want to do.
Yeah, I think it's one of the cool things about here is, although we're probably 95% baseball players, but the athletes from other sports that come in and still work really hard and don't get caught up in being baseball players. I think at the end of the day, training is training, and you need to train. Obviously, the baseball skill side is the baseball skill side, but in the weight room, on the training floor, like, the gym's the gym, and you need to learn to move better, be athletic. That's going to translate to all sports, and that's why we do the assessment and individualized programs so that it is tailored to you and what sport you're on.
Yeah.
What's one thing you wish you knew earlier in your baseball journey?
I would say probably the mental side of the game. I wish I knew that, I wish I knew that failure was more part of the game and that it happens to everyone and not just you. And I think that knowing that, hey, everyone else is going through the same thing that you are and you're not alone, has really been beneficial to my career. And I think that just as a young kid, it seemed like I was the only one going through struggles, but that's never the case. And everyone is dealing with their own things, and the spotlight's not always on you. And so you need to know that, hey, everyone is dealing with their own problems, and you just need to be able to get through your own and help others around you.
Sure. I mean, yeah, failure is part of the game, and obviously there's the better players probably fail a little less early on, but if the farther you play, the longer you play, you're going to fail a lot. Mm-hmm. And so learning how to deal with that, I would say you learn more from your failures than your successes anyways,
sure,
and learning how to use it as not so much as a failure, but a learning tool. And that's going to help you as a player kind of take that next step and continue to rise and limit your failures or your mistakes so that, you learn from them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We're going to end it here with a few rapid fire questions and then end it. I really appreciate you taking time again, Brock.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. It's been great. I think the reason I think I really wanted to have you on, and obviously for the kids, there's coaches, but the younger kids and the parents, so that they can give their athletes who are just starting out their journey in this some information and stuff that they can take, because I think they can learn a lot from you, especially the younger kids and the parents who are trying to figure out what they should be doing, what the process should look like. And obviously everyone has their own process, but I think the way you went about it is definitely, I think for long term is probably one of the better ways, and going to help you long term, and I think can help other kids. So I think that's why I think it was important to have you on here. What's your favorite pitch to throw?
Fastball.
Favorite pitch to hit?
Heater.
Where?
Probably middle in, I would say, yeah.
Best hitter you've faced so far?
Let's see. There's a lot. I have to say Tate Southasine is one guy that was a tough at bat to pitch against.
And where's he at?
He got drafted by the Braves, I think 20-something overall. I don't know.
Don't ever give hitters too much credit. Best hitter you face, or best pitcher you faced so far?
Caleb Wing.
Pre-game hype song.
I'm not too much of a hype song guy. I mean, before games, I kind of like to listen to some calm music, like Rolling Stones, kind of that stuff, to just older stuff that kind of calms me down, slows me down, and it's just good for the heart, yeah. Good.
I wouldn't say to follow this guy's meal plan, but what's your go-to meal before a game?
I just have to say Chipotle, I guess.
I like it. That's good. No, I think just joking aside, but I think that's something for all these young guys learning just the nutrition side and how important nutrition is at a younger age is going to help you all perform and let your body be the most prepared. And it's not just Brock, and Brock's isn't that bad, but just like something we talk about with all of our players every day, and try to just instill them good nutritional habits, things that they can use, food that's going to help their bodies be prepared and ready to perform at the highest level. And I think the earlier you start to learn that, the more success you're going to have from it. So, and no, we don't expect all of our high school and middle school kids to eat just chicken and rice. Like, it's learning to have some balance and knowing what and when you should be putting that stuff in your body, and when it's time to go perform on the field, like, we don't want to probably be putting a ton of junk in our bodies. So it's just learning that stuff, and the earlier you learn it, the better you're going to be long term.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Brock, it's been awesome having you on. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I'm really excited for you at Stanford and beyond. I know you're going to do great things. Obviously, I've been lucky enough to watch you do this and take the steps to get here. And so I appreciate you, appreciate all the time you put in, and excited to watch you continue to work and continue to work with you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for the pleasure. And thank you, Matt, for everything you've done in my career. And I couldn't be more thankful. And the whole Rossi's training has been amazing to me and helped me so much. So thank you for everything.
Oh, thank you. I've been, like I always like to say, I'm just lucky enough to be on your journey. And so thank you for having me part of your team. So yeah, I'm glad we can to be able to help you any way we can.
Yeah.
With that, you can reach us at rossistraining.com. Our Instagram is Rossi's Training. Thank you for listening, and thanks. All right, look forward for the next show. Thanks.
Thank you.